Hi. Happy evening. It's evening now. Um, if you're here from earlier, welcome back. If you're not here from earlier, hi, how are you? I hope you're having a good evening. It's evening time, right? 6 p.m. is evening. Anytime after 4 p.m. is like evening, especially for me. Um, but I'm not going to waste too much time because I would like to go ahead and get started. Just in the meantime, I got to pull all this bad boy stuff up. So, if you either weren't here last week, Friday, or you're new here for some reason, first of all, hi, hi. Second of all, last week we finished the first in our many long quest to play every Metal Gear game in chronological order. Um, and we finished Snake Eater last week, of which the VOD for the final piece should still be up. But if you have never seen it somehow or are desperately in need of seeing it from the beginning, like all of the VODs in order are up on YouTube on my YouTube channel that I have a link to. But like I'm not your dad. I'm not gonna make you do anything. Just letting you know. But so we're moving today to Peace Walker, which is the second in the timeline. Should be good. Should be fun. I gotta plug in a compatible controller. I can do that. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. It's probably one of the very few. Oh, 1 second. Sorry about that. I hope you're doing well. This is probably one of the very few Twitch streams. I mean, I wouldn't say one of the very few, but one of a few that won't be playing Deltarune Chapter 2 tonight. I simply am saving it for tomorrow when I have, like, because I'm very particular about keeping my schedule consistent, I guess. And doing Metal Gear on Fridays is kind of what I do, or kind of what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna stick to that for now. The era is the 1970s. Big Boss has stationed his army without a nation in Colombia, South America, where he's approached by visitors about Costa Rica, a nation without a military. In the wake of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Latin America became key to maintaining power balance between East and West, but now a mysterious armed force threatens to disrupt this balance. To preserve peace and neutrality in Costa Rica, the Soldiers Without Borders move into action. In time, they will become to be known as the Founders of Outer Heaven. Lots of lore. Thank goodness, I just did Deltarune that has no voice acting, so I had to do it myself. Thank goodness we're back to a game that does it all for me, so I can just shut up and drink a beverage and listen to them talk. And there is a lot of talking in this one. So prepare yourself for that. Although some of the cutscene stuff is really neat. It's in like an old comic book kind of style, which is pretty nifty. And so I haven't played this. I've played the tutorial, and that's it. So you'll see I have a save file on here. It's not that I've played this. I've only played the tutorial. And you'll have to forgive the graphics of this game. They're a little rough. Gonna be go back. I'm just gonna be same as always. this name okay? Sure. Probably all of my other files are also. Shooter type, configuration similar to Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear MPO, I don't know what that is. Monster Hunter Freedom. Probably going to be shooter type. Weird that the L button is the attack and not L and L2. Yeah, shooter type is fine. Oops. Yeah, see, there's these that I did. Just all they are is tutorials. Like I said, forgive the graphics of this game. They're a little rough, but it's alright. We already knew this about 64. We just finished this. Rip in peace the boss. Yeah, eliminating the boss was painful, to say the least. Besides the fact that I exploded once. The fight itself was painful. Hailed as a true hero and given the title Big Boss. Even larger than the boss. Yeah, I went to the graveyard and saluted her grave. Oh, that's right, Christopher Randolph's finally in this one. I forget that he's in this. $1974 now. It's been 10 years. Oh god, that camera shake's gonna make me sick. I love that this is just happening on the beach in the rain for fun. And why does he... Why though? Why does he shirtless?
Boss!
David Hayter, it's our man. Yeah, the graphics aren't great, but we're gonna ignore that.
Boss! Wanna go around?
Yes, I do. I would love to.
Look alive, ladies! The boss is gonna join us!
Hey, Tembo, welcome
Show
back.
'em how it's done, boss! Your first priority in enemy territory is knowing your surroundings. Your life depends on where you are looking and how fast you can identify your target. Therefore, you must first master moving your line of sight. To move your line of sight, use the right stick. Now, when I give you an order, look in that direction.
Stick inverted.
Look up. Good. Look down. Good. You should be familiar with the up and down controls now.
Don't worry,
Press
we
the
just
action
started
button if
the
you're ready to move on.
we just started the tutorial.
Okay. Next, we'll check your left and right. Look right. Good. Look left.
Don't like the
Good.
inverted controls, but
You should be familiar with the left and right controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on.
why are they all wearing their ski
Okay.
masks?
You can change the controls anytime in options.
Yeah, well, the controls on this one are
Go
a
with
little
the method
weird
that works best for you.
because there's like
Next, I'll
3 separate
explain how to
control
change
options.
stances.
So
If
it's
you just stand there like an idiot in front of an enemy, you might as well kill yourself now. At times, you will need to
I
get
love
low
that
to
piece of
avoid
dialogue,
detection.
though.
You have 3 stances: stand, crouch, and lying down. To change stances, use the crouch button. Tap the crouch button to change between standing and crouching. You can move in either stance.
Oh, I can move
Hold
while
the crouch
crouching
button
now.
and
Oh,
keep it held to
so
lie
good.
down. However, you cannot move while you are lying down. I'll say that again. You cannot move while lying down. Is that clear?
Can't move while lying down. Don't lie to me. Dead.
Good. Next, we'll work on your movement. Use the left stick to move around. Tilt it a little to walk slowly. Tilt farther to run. Decide which to use based on your situation. Remember that your footsteps are louder when running, making you easier to discover. Be careful.
Sneaky, sneaky, run.
Good. Now we have rolling. Rolling is useful for knocking down enemies in your way, and for getting away when surrounded. You can also use it to jump over small ditches and other obstacles. To roll, tap the crouch button while running. You got that? Tap the crouch button while running. Don't
You guys
forget
got
it.
a great, like... Got a great, like, drill instructor voice. So how many of these have
That's
you
it.
missed? Oh,
Next,
a
I will
bunch.
explain
There
how to
were...
attack without gunfire. You may run into an
Hold on.
enemy
I'll let him
unexpectedly. You may not have a weapon on you, or you may be out of ammo. You'll still need an effective attack strategy. One well-placed strike and the enemy won't know what hit him. To strike an enemy, press the attack button while standing still. On my command, press the attack button repeatedly and take down your opponent.
I mean, there
Go.
were 7
I'm ready,
parts
boss.
of the first game. So if you however many of those
Impressive,
you
boss.
missed, thanks.
Next, we're gonna practice using the stun rod. Hitting someone with the stun rod will shock them with 1.5 million
I
volts.
highly doubt that.
Anyone on the receiving end of that is guaranteed to be out cold.
I think anybody on the receiving end of that will be dead.
Stun rod, press the
7
aim
what,
button
of the
to
first
ready it,
game?
then
Yeah,
press
7
the attack
streams.
button. You'll be glad to know we're using mock stun rods for
I
this
believe,
training
6 or
session.
7, I can't remember.
When your partner attacks, make him believe it's the real deal.
This is
Prepare
the second
yourself
one,
for
yeah.
stun rod training.
Well,
Go.
second chronologically.
boss.
I'm sure you are.
That is incorrect, boss.
Shut up. Oh, it's both at the same time, okay. Aim button.
Boss,
Oh, I
please
see.
press the attack button while holding
I
down
see.
the aim button.
I was reading them
Impressive, boss.
backwards. Chronologically, yes.
Now we'll move on to CQC.
CQC.
CQC, or Close Quarters Combat, refers to when engaging an enemy in battle at very close range. It is a quick and efficient way of eliminating
What game
a
comes
threat.
first?
There are
The first one
various
that came first was
CQC
Snake Eater,
techniques.
the one that we were
will
playing.
go over each of them. Don't get cocky because you think you know them. This will be different from what you're used to. Pretend you are learning it for the first time. The first technique is throwing your opponent. To do this, position yourself near your opponent and press the attack button while you tilt the left stick. Be sure to press the attack button when the icon appears. Now, wait for my command and throw your opponent. Go!
Is that the prequel?
I'm ready, boss.
Yeah, it's like the like
That is incorrect, boss!
what? Come on. There we go. Yes, the first one, Snake Eater, happens in
Fine work,
1964,
boss.
in which our
Next,
man
I'm
Big
going to
Boss,
teach you how to
the
restrain an
Skyward
opponent
Sword of
close
Metal
to you.
Gear. Yeah, pretty
This
much.
is a cornerstone of CQC. Grab hold of an enemy, and the bastard's life is in your hands. What you do from there
Main
is
character
up
is
to
Big
you.
Boss. versus
Just know that if
the
you restrain
normal
it for
main
too
character,
long,
quote
the
unquote,
average
that's
person
Solid
will most
Snake
likely
instead of Big
pass
Boss.
out. Something to keep in mind. Let's begin. To restrain your opponent, hold down the attack button while near them. Restrain your opponent on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you like it, don't you? Weirdo.
Fine work, boss! Now we will throw your opponent after restraining them. To throw an enemy to the ground, press a direction on the left stick when you have them restrained. Restrain your opponent and throw them on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Yeet.
Impressive, boss!
Thanks.
Now we will try CQC against multiple enemy opponents. You can also take out a group of enemies by throwing an opponent you have restrained. First, restrain an opponent by pressing the attack button near them. Then, tilt the left stick to throw them. By tilting the left stick toward other enemies, you can send your captive flying straight into them. On my command, restrain and then throw your opponent. Go!
Cool.
I'm ready, boss.
Both these guys are just like so willing to get beat up. It's great.
Fantastic! Again! Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Okay, I want him this time.
Fantastic! All right! Why don't we do something special since the boss is here? Anyone who feels like getting their ass kicked, step forward. Don't hold back, boss. When you're surrounded by multiple enemies, you'll have to take them on one after the other. To do it, simply press the attack button again while throwing the current enemy. Just be sure to wait for the icon to appear. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Next.
Consecutive.
Fine work, boss!
Thanks.
Again!
Infinite tutorial. Yeah, it is
Go.
pretty long. But it's like people aren't quite used to these controls, I don't think. Or weren't. So
Next.
it's trying to get people used to the...
Boss! Press the attack button when the icon appears! Next.
Can I tell you what happened in the first chronological game again? I sure can. So our main character here, Big Boss,
And
he went
stop.
to Russia.
That's it for today! Thank you, boss!
You're somewhat intrigued by the series? I'm very happy to hear that, yes. So the main character, Big Boss, the guy we're playing as here, he went to Kaz, my beloved. Is that you? He was sent on a mission into Russia in 1964. You know what? Hold on. I can't pause right here. Alright. Give me a second. There's cutscenes happening,
What's
so
going on,
I don't want
Kaz?
to talk over them.
We've got guests.
Kaz, my beloved.
Time to move.
Don't worry, it's not our friends from Langley. I brought him. Made sure we won't fall him.
Thank you, big boss.
Call me Snake.
Oh, sorry, Vic Boss.
Whatever.
Listen up. For us, there is no victory.
But in Revolution, doesn't one triumph or die?
We don't do either.
I love this like comic book style that they do in during the cutscenes. It's really cool. Our base sucks.
Here.
Thank you. I feel like a new man. There's no coffee like Costa Rican coffee.
That voice is familiar and I can't figure out where it comes from.
So, what brings a distinguished scholar from the Costa Rican government to Colombia?
Professor Galvez comes from Costa Rica's University for Peace.
Oh, Steve Blum. He's done other
You
stuff.
see, over the past year, there have been sightings of an armed group in Costa Rica. They're not ours, of course.
Costa Rica doesn't have an army.
Oh,
Correct.
Miller, my
Article
beloved. I
12
love him
of
so
our
much.
Constitution states that the army as a permanent institution is abolished.
The peace constitution.
Pause. Happy to have you here.
Think it's rebels who fled Nicaragua.
No, they don't appear to be guerrillas. They're far too organized.
What's your government's take?
The authorities in San Jose claim it's a multinational security firm, hired by the Development Corporation of Costa Rica. Lies, obviously. They're bringing in state-of-the-art weaponry and equipment by the shipload.
Where'd they get that kind of cash?
I fear La CIA may be involved.
The CIA.
As you both know, the United States views Central America as its backyard. Even after Cuba, we've managed to maintain a delicate balance with the U.S.
Really like the subtle colors here.
Government can't just give them
It's like
food.
Boss's eyes, Kaz's
We are
glasses,
not allowed to bear
Kaz's
arms.
hood, Galvez's arm. It's really nice. Oh, and
Japan's
Kaz's scarf.
constitution has something similar. Article 9. It says Japan renounces war and can't maintain an army.
I understand that you and your
Kaz,
men have
I
neither
need you to
state
light me
nor
up, brother. I'm
ideology.
having problems with my
You will
lighter.
Fight any foe. Please,
Huh?
you must drive them out of our defenseless country. We come to you, the Militaires Sans Frontières.
Miss F.
So, you want to hire us?
Yes, as our deterrent. We can't afford to pay much, it's true. But we can offer you this. A forward operating base. An offshore plant in the Caribbean.
Sounds pretty good to me. This place is becoming a mess anyway.
This place sucks.
Snake, we need someplace we can settle down.
The government's agreed to cooperate. Unofficially, of course.
A chopper for transport would be nice too.
I'll see what I can do.
Hold it. You seem to think we're just a pack of dogs of war. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I've heard. You're an army without a state.
No, we've only left our countries behind.
Please, you must help us.
If your suspicions are true, force isn't going to do any good. You'll have to find a political solution.
The government's hands are tied.
Go back
Then
to
I
your
don't
bosses
wanna
in
help
San
you.
Jose. Tell them if they want, I'll introduce them to a negotiator I know.
No, I'm not here on their behalf.
So, what are you doing here?
For over 20 years, I've preached the virtues of peace at multiple universities. Tonight, I stand before you as an educator. This is my student.
Paz is here
She
too.
came to me to study peace. Her name is Paz. Paz Ortega.
Tara Strong, we know her.
Paz. Peace.
No kidding. That's my name too. Kazuhira. It's Japanese for peace.
Peace. The Peace Twins.
Pleased to meet you, Paz. Call me Kaz.
She doesn't like you.
They've got a supply port north of Puerto Limon, a town in la Costa del Mar Caribe. A few days ago, Paz stumbled upon that facility while searching for a lost friend.
Amanda?
She was captured. She's only a child, 16 years old.
Paz is?
They did terrible things to her, but somehow she managed to escape.
Oh geez, they screwed you up, huh?
She's huérfana. Her mother died when she was small, and she lost her grandparents in the Civil War. She hates war with a passion like no other.
Good for her.
My name is Paz, and I will do anything to protect my namesake. It is my one and only purpose. Please, get them out of my country. Make them leave Costa Rica.
Sorry, kid.
We know who you are, Big Boss. That is why we've come to you.
God, are they blackmailing me now too? Great. I will describe the first game when I have a chance, I promise. I'm just trying to let the cutscenes play. And the significance of that too, please. Significance of what?
Miller here. Do you copy, Snake?
Oh, Kaz, how are you?
Landed. That makes one giant leap for us. I'm sending this from the offshore plant.
The
Our
whole
mother
cutscene?
base.
Oh, okay.
The signal is unidirectional. I'll be giving you commands and advice through this channel.
Okay.
Keep your headphones on at all times and pay attention. Also, make sure no one else can listen in. Snake, are you clear on the controls? Take a minute to refresh your memory. Use the left stick to move. Use the right stick to adjust your view.
I'm gonna need to adjust that, because that's gonna bother me.
To change your settings, use the start button to open the menu.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, so...
There's no one around. Why not try some shooting practice?
Kaz,
Select a target and squeeze off a round or two. Press
tell
the
me to
directional
squeeze off
button
anything,
while
bro.
holding the R2 button to switch weapons.
Well, if Kaz is not
Ready your weapon with the L1 button.
chattering
Then
my
press the
ear
R1
off.
button to fire. Select equipment by pressing the square or circle button while holding the L2 button. To check your map, press the start button to open the menu. The M16 is a standard assault rifle, capable of rapid fire.
Oh, I got the MK-22. Nice.
The Mark 22 tranquilizer gun can put enemies to sleep. The closer to the head you hit, the more effective it is. Tranquilizer rounds are hard to come by. Don't waste them. The over-the-shoulder view allows you to aim with a high degree of precision. Body part targeting correction will automatically shift your aim to hit nearby body parts. If you want to change the aim settings, take a look under Options. Hitting an enemy's vital points can bring them down with a single shot. You can also intentionally avoid lethal shots. Say if you just want to slow the target down. Grenades explode. You throw them, Snake. Use the L1 button to ready throwing weapons. Once you've readied the weapon, throw with the R1 button. When using throwing weapons, hold the attack button down longer to throw farther. You won't throw the weapon until you let go of the button. To use the stun rod, first unequip any other weapons, then ready it with the L1 button and strike with the R1 button.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, while Kaz is not talking my ear off. So the first game takes place in 1964, and it has the same main characters we've got here. His codename currently is Big Boss, but in the first game, he was just known as Snake. Flat, no prequel to the name, like Solid Snake or anything. His name is just Snake. That's it. He was sent on a mission into enemy territory in Russia, or a Russian territory. It's not quite clear. Because an American soldier had defected to the Soviet Union, and his job was to both find that person as well as rescue a rocket scientist who wanted to defect to the West. So he went in and he tried to save the scientist, and that failed. And then it turns out that the soldier who defected was his boss, the boss. It was her code name, was the boss. And she kicked his ass multiple times. And then his mission shifted from getting the scientist out to getting rid of the boss, because she had defected from the U.S. to the Soviet Union. and she had brought with her a small nuclear warhead as a gift, quote unquote, to the people that she was defecting to. The people she defected to, Colonel Volgan, who is a nasty, nasty dude who has lightning powers, don't ask, took this little handheld nuclear warhead, like think the MIRVs from Fallout, if you know what those are, and shot one directly at a Russian facility. It was a plan, and the plan was to blow it up with an American-made weapon so that Russia got real mad at America and was like, "Hey, why are you firing weapons in our country if it's against the rules?" So, in order to prove that because the boss took it with her when she left, in order to prove that America had nothing to do with this quote unquote attack, they sent Snake, our boy, in to eliminate the boss to prove that the U.S. was not involved in her
None enough
actions.
room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base.
Oh, it sends to Mother Base. That's cool. And so his job was to kill her, as well as get rid of this weapon that they were developing in the Russian territory he was visiting. It was a prequel Metal Gear, like, because Metal Gear, quote unquote, is like a term for like these weapons that they develop in these games. It's usually bipedal weapons that are like tanks that can walk. They're pretty nifty, but this one wasn't quite there yet. And so his job was to destroy this thing called the Shagohod and then get rid of the boss because she was a liability to the US. But Snake was her apprentice. So they had a really, really tight connection. So killing her was really rough on him. And then when he did finally end up killing her, when he returned to the US, they gave him an award for doing so because he did the whole mission alone. Like, there was no backup, it was just Snake the whole time. And then they gave him an award, and then they gave him an honorary title of Big Boss, which is even higher than the boss because he was the one who got rid of the boss. So he becomes Big Boss, but he doesn't like that name, I don't think, because he, like, in the cutscene at the very beginning or near the end of the tutorial where the guy calls him Big Boss, he says, "Just call me Snake." Because I don't think he likes being referred to as Big Boss, because I don't think he thinks he deserves it. And then the cutscene with Galvez, the only part of it that was significant of that last cutscene, it was what it was. He's asking Snake and his little makeshift military that he's built up here for help. And at the end, he says, "I know who you are, Big Boss," which means he knows his history, which Snake doesn't like. He doesn't like it when people know who he is. So now it's implied that Galvez has some sort of dirt on Snake and is going to try to...
The facility you're headed for is past that fence.
Huh?
A grenade should be able to take out that gate.
Okay. So it seems like he's trying to kind of get Boss's help without really in sort of shady ways.
Good. You'll reach the objective when you clear the jungle. Head east.
That's all I can think of about what it being significant, but you got all that? It's very confusing. I'm gonna kiss this man. Cosmiller, my beloved.
Leave all that crap in San Geronimo behind. Break into the mercenary business for real. Let me guess. You're doing it for her, aren't you? For her.
Oh. I play Kingdom Hearts, I know, confusing. That is true. I love Paz's hood.
Are they still here?
Come on, Snake. This could be good for us. They're willing to give us an offshore
Who's Paz?
plant,
That's 6.
a place
Yeah,
we
it
can
does look
finally
like
put
them.
down some roots. This is our chance to expand MSF.
We don't need a place to stay, guys. We're nomads. We always will be.
What? You'd rather keep wandering from conflict to conflict? Tools in the hands of whoever's fighting at the time?
The second we settle down, who's to say we won't become the warmongers?
Listen to me, Snake. We're not mercenaries. We're not a foreign legion. MSF's a business. A A new kind of business.
I'm going to invent the
Look,
war
It's not
economy.
like we're trying to start a war here. All we need to do is find out who this security company really is.
Come on, Kaz. It's pretty obvious that they're backed by the CIA.
Wait a sec. That would mean...
Our friend, the professor, is likely KGB.
I see.
We'd be making an enemy of our homeland.
And there'd be no turning back.
Ah, this damn thing won't light.
Huh?
Put on some coffee, Kaz. It's time for a little chat with the professor.
We saw you out there, just standing in the rain like a sad puppy. Get in here. That's a neat trick.
I was a heavy smoker.
I can tell by
When
your
I got my
voice.
medal from the Secretary General, he gave me this prosthetic hand as well. But smoking was ruining my lungs, so I quit. I've not had much use for it since. It's
He
quite an
is
honor to meet
KGB.
the legendary
CCCP
Big
on his
Boss.
arm there. Definitely KGB.
That's just a code name the CIA made up.
Then perhaps I should call you John.
CCCP is like the Soviet
I don't
Union.
have a name.
It's the
We stopped using
abbreviation
that
for the
code
Soviet
name you
Union.
liked so much 10 years ago. What about you, comrade? What do they call you back at Center?
Well then, allow me to get straight to the point. Land as slim as a whip, hot as torture.
That's the Chilean poet, Neruda.
Central America is the navel of the American
You're so
continent,
studied,
bridging north
Kaz.
and south. We want this
He's my
land.
brains. I'm a
We'll
doofus. He's
build
the
a
smart guy
socialist
here.
stronghold, then use it to split the Americas in two.
America would lose its backyard.
And with it, its economic production.
Not my backyard. I need that to let my dog run.
We, on the other hand, would gain a base from which all of Latin America would be well within our reach. He who controls Central America will win this Cold War. First comes Nicaragua, toppling the pro-American Somoza regime. In preparation, we've begun instigating anti-Somoza sentiment and providing aid to the Sandinista National Liberation Front.
You're manipulating Sandinista into overthrowing Somoza for you.
After the revolution, Nicaragua will become a socialist state.
You think America?
Nevada. We know a thing or two about what happens there.
After all,
Some
the
things
CIA
happen
is
in
already
Nevada.
there.
And that's the armed group inside Costa Rica.
Precisely. It's clear that they've been sent in to disrupt
Yeah,
our
I
efforts
immediately
across
don't
the
like this
border
professor.
in
He's got bad values.
Simply put, the army now stationed in Costa Rica is CIA capital. But it's more complex than that. The CIA's got something else planned as well.
What?
That is the million-dollar question. Big Boss, we want you and your unit to find the answer.
Who's to say I want to do that?
Infiltrate and investigate the facility in La Costa where Paz was imprisoned. Learn all you can of their operations. Then drive them out of the country.
You're asking us to settle a turf war between the KGB and the CIA.
What about her? It was all
I
just
love
an
this
act.
close-up of Kaz's face.
You mean her words about peace? She was captured, that much is true. But I've kept my KGB affiliation from her.
And you thought we'd fall for a sob story.
No. I had good reason to bring her along. She managed to escape with her life, but her friend was not so lucky.
Oh, it's not Amanda
Why
then?
were they attacked? I believe this will help explain. Perhaps they saw something they weren't supposed to.
I like this
Perhaps they
guy's
heard
voice, though.
something they shouldn't have.
cassette tape?
Paz took this during her escape. She says her friend happened to record it by accident.
What is that?
It's a
portable
Walkman, Kaz.
stereo cassette player, the first of its kind.
Ah, I heard they were working on something like that in
Oh, that's
Japan.
right, it's 74, I
Didn't know
forgot.
you guys were too.
I believe what you're about to hear will help you understand.
What is that? A Quetzal?
The phoenix bird.
Paz's friend was researching birds. She went out into the jungle to record bird calls and stumbled upon this.
Yeah, this messy comic style is very, very charming. Of course.
So? So what?
Now it gets interesting.
Poisonous. I get rid of it. I chase it back to its nest. You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's all many people. I chase it away. It will bite you unless you kill it. Go home.
Boss.
Boss?
Voice print analysis confirms that this voice is indeed that of the legendary hero and criminal, the boss.
What?
She's dead.
The other hasn't been identified. Female in her 30s.
Oh, I know who the
with a
British one
British
is.
accent. The song playing in the background was a hit in 1973.
What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me?
This is a
Your
flashback.
country or your mentor? Your mission or your beliefs?
This is a flashback.
I am loyal to
Boss
myself.
is alive in Costa Rica.
She's not.
As I understand it, she was your commander, fought by your side. And that you killed her under orders from the CIA.
I shot her myself. There's no way she's alive.
Become the hero known as Big Boss.
Snake's having a tough time. Don't make him think about the boss. It makes him sad.
Well,
Look at that smug face.
what'll it be? Will you take the job?
Snake, it's gotta be a trap.
Duh.
So you still can't turn your back on your country. Then I suppose you won't need this.
Wait!
Give me that.
I'll do it for the girl. For Paz.
Okay. For peace, then.
Oof. That's a lot all at once. Poor Snake. He's having a bad day already. So I mean, I think there's a tape later that explains it, so I'm gonna hold off. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that was a lot of
There they are. CIA mercs. Snake, you've got to get past them undetected. Avoid combat whenever possible.
What if I knock them out though? Is that fine? I can knock them out, right? Yeah, poor Snake dang near has a breakdown
This is a
the moment
snaking mission.
he
Hide
even
behind stuff.
hears
Take the long way around.
the boss's
Whatever
voice.
it takes to stay out of sight. Your gun is a last resort. It could just as easily kill you as save you. To press up against a wall, face it and hit the action button. From that position, you can press the L1 button to detect enemies. That also works while lying down.
Oh, this is so much easier. Being able to crouch is so nice.
The indicator in the upper right serves as a compass and shows sound sources. Pay attention to your surroundings.
Sleep.
The percentage in the upper right is your camo index. The lower the number, the more easily you'll be spotted. Conspicuous movements and loud noises will compromise your camo index. Your fatigues will act as camouflage.
sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Yeah, that's how I feel this whole during all of this. I can just keep going in a big circle. That's cool. Where am I going, cuz? Going up there? No, right? No. Okay, so I think this was actually not where I came from. Where to the Alba? Yeah, okay. This was not where I came from. I thought it was someplace else, though. I think there's a tape later that explains Kaz's existence, because he wasn't in the last game. But I'm not sure when it's supposed to be, when I'm supposed to get it. So if it takes a long time, I'll explain who Kaz is, but...
Looks like you're inside the compound. Security is tight. Stay sharp.
It's not that tight. There's only one dude in here. No, there's two dudes in here. I spoke too soon. Let's segue into why you like him so much? No, I just like him.